Good morning, my beautiful friends, and welcome. Always great to be with you. Fatal attraction. Can you attract the perfect mate, or how do you attract the perfect mate, or in some cases, re-attract the mate you lost? That one's the very tough one, but we'll get into that a little bit. So, what we're talking about here is attraction is magnetism, right? Something that draws you to somebody. It can be a male, many things. We could be talking about cuteness, we could be talking about strength, we could be talking about intelligence, confidence, but all these things have kind of a common theme through them, and that is that it is a mastery of some sort. Some are mastery done by rote, by working hard, by whatever, and some mastery you're born with. Some people are just handsome and beautiful. No. And some of us are average, and some of us are below average, whatever that means in different people's minds. But we all make these observations through lives because we are born tribal in nature. We're born to judge always, and it's to keep us safe, and also really to keep us safe in most circumstances. Even when I talk about a teenager adapting his lifestyle, or pre-teenager adapting to whatever culture they're in, they will find a niche that they fit in, whether that niche is healthy or unhealthy, whether it's helping society or hurting society. They will find a place to fit in because that's where we feel safe. We have to fit in. So when we're talking about attracting the person you want, we have to come up with kind of a list of what it is that we are good at, and what it is that we want to get good at, and what we want to get better at. And in a way, it's sad, but it's also very freeing to realize that the person you will attract will also share those values with you. Maybe not your exact goals, but your values. That you have to have that in common. While naturally gifted people can make it to the pinnacle without a lot of work. It's like some people are just really handsome, people are really good actors, or all these different things, and they don't seem to have to work that hard to get there. But believe me, anyone that's at the top of any game worked really hard to get there. Or if you're born at the top of the game, as in wealth, then to stay there is difficult, and almost more difficult than creating it, because you don't know how it was created in the first place. So we make adjustments throughout our lives to fit in. This leads many people to compromise and to live a safe life. And I talk a lot about a safe life, and how as we get older, people make their lives get smaller and smaller and smaller. But really what we want to do is enlarge our lives as much as possible as we get older. Yeah, there are some things you're probably not going to do, that are, more in line with heavy hormonal responses and that sort of thing. And that's all good. I like to, when I'm thinking about how do I want to get something, how do I want to win the woman of my dreams, or how do I want to find the woman of my dreams, I like to reverse engineer just really quickly. So why is it that some beautiful people, accomplished people, have horrible relationships? And why do some people that we would say, and I would say in judgment, are not all that attractive or all that healthy looking, why do they seem to have really healthy relationships? It's got to be more than what you're just given, or even anything. Even the people that we would say are unattractive or not as attractive as, say, a model of sorts, then what we have to say is they have something else. What else do they have that I would need to attract the person that I love? Because, frankly, who cares what you look like if you have the love of your life standing next to you? Now, that should be motivation to take care of yourself for longevity's sake, for your partner, and also for mobility and many things. But we all have different goals in life, and that's okay. But how do they have that thing that so many people want, and what we really want? And sometimes we go other directions to cover up what we can't have. We accomplish other goals because we can't have some of the ones that we really want. I would say to you today that those people have a mastery of something. What it is, I don't necessarily know. It could be kindness, it could be empathy, it could be many things we don't really know. But when we look at other couples, or we look at the mate that we want, what do you want in a mate? And what would you expect from them? Are you becoming the things that you want that would attract somebody to you? You say, well, women blah blah blah, or men blah blah blah, they only like rich men. Well, if that's really true and you really want that, why don't you start trying to put some time in becoming wealthy? And I'm not necessarily recommending that, but I think that the things that tend to make people wealthy are the attributes that make you more attractive to a mate. Can these be unrealistic? They absolutely can. And so I have a stacking of priorities. The stacking of priorities, number one, they have to be nice. I mean, that if you can't be kind and can't be nice, and I'm not saying that we can't get angry from time to time, get hurt, and have emotions, because we have to let those things come through us and deal with them. But I'm just saying the overall tendency is a person that listens and cares and is nice. So in order for me to have a good relationship, I need to have somebody that's empathetic and somebody that can express their empathy in such a way that's not just supporting weakness, but acknowledges trouble and then encourages strength. If you want to get to this place as quickly as you possibly can, the best thing you can do is find somebody that you're impressed with and imitate them. And imitation is the highest form of flattery, I guess, something like that is saying. But it's also a very quick way to get to where you want to go. Animals do it to get where they want to go. Children do it to learn how to speak a language. If you're dropped off all of a sudden in Cambodia and you didn't know the language, it wouldn't be long before you'd learn it. Because in that environment you would mimic what's around you to survive and to get what you want. We live in a very, very negative society. If you're looking around at the media, at government, they're always telling you what you can't do, not what you can do, and that they have to do it for you. You can't do it, this group can't do it, that group can't do it. And it's not really about you, but it becomes about you. It's always my neighbor or somebody over there can't do it, so I have to give up this so they can do that. And they're thinking the same thing about you, and we're being led astray by so many things. So come up with this vision in your mind. Who do you want to be? Don't let anybody dissuade you from that person you want to be, and start moving towards that goal. What is important to you? Well, I want my mate to be kind. I want my mate to be athletic. Well, then you need to become athletic yourself. You need to go out and start doing whatever it is you think athletics is. My view of it changes constantly. It's constantly changing to a new thing to do, or a new thing that's good or better, and it's part of growth. Same way with food and diet. I think, well, this is the cat's meow and that's the cat's meow, and then after I go through these phases, which are all helpful because I learned something, I end up going back to what I thought as a teenager, what was the ultimate food plan. It's like I pictured this big unveiling, and scientists finally figure it out. And so they pull back the 20-foot tall curtains and they show the ultimate meal, and sitting in front of you is a little bit of protein, a little bit of vegetables, and a couple carbs. And, I'm not saying we don't have to change our diet and be very specific, because I believe that if you have health issues, you probably do need to do some kind of elimination diet, and I believe the protein is really important, blah, blah, blah. So those things are important to me. If I were with somebody that didn't care or had no interest in that, that would be a little bit difficult. We don't have to share everything, but you want to find and get good at things that you are excited about and move towards those goals. I had somebody tell me yesterday when I was questioning something, they just looked at me and said, well, you have to figure out how important that is to you. And we really oftentimes don't think enough about life, about what's important to us. So if you want the mate of your dreams, you need to become that person. If you get volatile anytime something goes wrong, that's the kind of person you're going to attract. Or the opposite of that, you're going to push away the people that are good at that. Tolerant people can take that for a while, but after a while they're saying, I don't need that in my life. It's not helpful for me to get to where I want to go. And there's a sense in which pushing those people out of your life will help them in the long run to realize, well, who am I surrounded with? What happened to my good friends? Well, they don't really want to spend time with me. Well, why? Why? Ask it at least 3 times when you're trying to figure out what's wrong in your life. So to become unstoppable, find somebody you respect, mimic the parts of their lifestyle that you respect, and keep moving towards those goals. And I think that accomplishment is happiness, competence creates attraction. So find out what you're good at, and there are many ways to do that, and I have other videos on that. But to attract the person of your dreams, become the person of their dreams. I know that sounds like a cliche, but it really is the truth. Don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody dissuade you. Wake up every morning and start heading towards your goals, not because you feel like it, but because it's the right thing to do, and the feelings will follow. I promise you, they will mostly follow. And if they're not following, get yourself some help from a professional to help you work through these things. I did, I will, I can. So let's do it together. Hope this was encouraging to you. More to come. All the love, all the power. You guys have an amazing day. Love you.